This month is Stroke Awareness Month, and last week we shared just how important it is to act fast. There's an easy way to remember it. It's an acronym called Be Fast. It's spelled out right here on your screen. Take a look. It's balance, eyes, face, arm, speech, and time. And speaking of time, 1 in 3 patients do not call an ambulance, and that ride could save your life. So let's check in now with U of L Health's Dr. Isaac Abacassis on exactly what you need to know. So let's start first with the timing. It's so critical, and why is that? What happens when you get to the hospital?
So, we like to say time is brain. Any minute or second that the brain doesn't get oxygen is an extensive amount of brain tissue that can die. So for the most common type of stroke, ischemic stroke, which is about 80% of what we see, sometimes it's due to a blockage that we can open up. And so it's critical to get patients to hospitals that perform those procedures, like University of Louisville Hospital or another comprehensive stroke centers, to do that in a timely fashion.
So really determining that you're having a stroke is just step one. Then when they get to you guys, the professionals, you have to figure out which type of stroke it is to know how to treat it.
Exactly. So, and different strokes can look the same on the surface when medics evaluate patients on the scene, and the medics in town are great. They usually know to bring patients with the right symptoms to a center that takes care of those patients. But when they arrive, we get a sequence of imaging, assess their neurologic exam, and try to figure out if they're a candidate for a procedure to try to remove the clot. And
is that the best way to treat a stroke, or how most people will be treated?
That's the hope, yeah. Sometimes it can be too late, or there can already be a significant amount of damage, or sometimes it's a bleed, and we obviously take care of those types of strokes too. Those have a totally different treatment algorithm, but figuring out what's going on is step one, and then ideally, if they're a candidate for a mechanical thrombectomy or removing the clot, that would be the next step.
What is something that you want people to take away from Stroke Awareness Month, something they might not really fully understand?
I think that it affects way more populations than you might think. So it can affect young people that have congenital defects in their heart where clots can propagate through. And we care for all sorts of stroke. Another rare type is moyamoya disease, where the blood vessels close down, and that affects younger patients too. We're starting a comprehensive bypass center at the University of Louisville, kind of the first in the state to take care of patients like that. So I guess if you have those symptoms, to never take them lightly, and to always realize that stroke can affect anyone of different ages.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. We really, really appreciate it, and thank you for what you do in our community.
Absolutely.